Well, hello, folks. Here we are in the last segment in this installment of lectures for Chapter 3. So again, we're covering a lot of ground, but it's topics that sort of lead us up to what we get into with the organ systems. So in this last section, we're going to look briefly at the cell cycle. The cell cycle is the entire lifespan of the cell. So it's the time between cell divisions, and then it incorporates cell divisions. All right. So the first phase we'll look at is called interphase. Inter means between. So it's that period of time between cell divisions. This is where cells will actually spend almost all of their time. Cells spend almost all their time in interphase, like making proteins and doing whatever the specialized job of that cell may be. If you think back to the video clip on the types of specialized cells, most cells will spend their entire time just sort of doing whatever it is that they do. Now, they subdivide that into G1, S, and G2. The G stand for gap. I think of them more as like growth. So during G1, cells are growing, making proteins, doing their thing. S stands for synthesis. So cells are synthesizing DNA. They're copying the DNA before cell division. And then G2 or gap 2, it's sort of like final preparation. So copy organelles, make proteins they'll need for cell division, stuff like that. But again, cells spend most of their time in interphase. During interphase, the DNA is relaxed so you can get at the code. The nuclear membrane is intact. There are no spindle fibers, stuff like that. Now, prophase. Pro means before. So prophase is like the first stage of mitosis. Mitosis, the prefix mitos means thread. The threads we're talking about is DNA. So during mitosis, they're focusing on what happens with the DNA. So the first thing that happens in prophase is the DNA coils up into chromosomes. That's when you see those little threads. Also, the nuclear membrane is breaking down so you can get access to the code. And then the spindle fibers are forming because those spindle proteins will grab the chromosomes and pull them apart. So again, at the beginning, at prophase, the DNA is condensing into chromosomes. It's all getting packaged up. The nuclear membrane is breaking down so you can get access to the code. And then the spindle fibers are forming to ultimately grab the DNA. Now, with metaphase, meta means center. So with metaphase, the chromosomes have lined up in the middle of the cell. And they line up in the middle of the cell so that when they separate, you have sort of equivalent amounts of genetic information going to each daughter cell. Anaphase, prefix ana means away. So with anaphase, the spindle fibers are pulling the chromosomes away from one another. So again, I just think of anaphase as being like the action photo. You can almost imagine the chromosomes moving away from one another. Telophase is at the end. The prefix telo means end. So during telophase, you basically undo what happened during prophase. During prophase, the DNA condenses into chromosomes. During telophase, the DNA is relaxing. It's unwinding. During prophase, the nuclear membrane is breaking down. During telophase, the nuclear membrane is reforming. During prophase, the spindle fibers are forming to grab the chromosomes. During telophase, well, the spindle fibers are breaking down because they don't need to grab the chromosomes anymore. So telophase is at the end, and again, it's basically undoing prophase. One dead giveaway for looking at telophase is when you see two nuclear regions. If you see two nuclear regions, you know what you're dealing with. All right, and finally, we have cytokinesis. Cytokinesis is a little tricky because cytokinesis is about the division of the cytoplasm. The cell membrane pinches in. Remember, we said mitosis, prophase, metaphase, anaphase, telophase, or PMAT. Mitosis is about what happens with the nucleus. Cytokinesis, cyto means cell and kin means movement. Cytokinesis is about the division of the plasma membrane. Now, the thing is, there is overlap between mitosis and cytokinesis. Like anaphase and telophase are occurring at the same time the membrane starts to pinch in. So make sure you're aware of them being distinct processes. It's just that they have some overlap in time. All right, you made it through. Congratulations. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Make sure to summarize things and then move on from there. Thank you much.